Hello everyone, welcome back to Horror Mystery Rewind. Today we will talk about the horror mystery movie Nope, which is released in 2022. Leave a comment if explanation is okay or any changes needed. Spoilers ahead, enjoy and take care of yourself. The film begins with a scene from Gauri's home, a 1998 sitcom in which Gauri, the lead actor, a chimp, attacks several of the show's human co-stars after being frightened by the pop of a balloon. In the present day, a ranch owner named Otis Haywood Sr. trains and handles horses for film and television productions in Aguada Dulles. While Otis is getting ready for the day with his son, Otis O.J. Haywood Jr., several metal items unexpectedly fall from the sky. Unfortunately, a nickel is pierced through Otis' eye, killing him instantaneously. As a result, O.J. and his sister Emerald M. Haywood would then inherit the property. O.J. also strives to keep the company running and his father's reputation alive, while M seeks fame and wealth in Hollywood. 6 months after Otis' death, O.J. obtains a job filming a commercial with Antlers Holst, a well-known cinematographer. To comfort the crew, the Haywoods claim that the anonymous jockey in Edward Muybridge's Animal Locomotion series of photos, Plate 626, was their ancestor. However, the project is derailed when one of the Haywood horses, Lucky, responds aggressively when disturbed by the crew, leading to O.J.'s dismissal from the project. Later, the ranch's financial troubles compelled O.J. to sell several of his horses to Ricky Jupe Park, who runs Jupiter's Claim, a tiny western theme park locally. Jupe admits in his office that he was a young actor from the sitcom Gauri's Home who escaped the tragic events by hiding beneath a table, and that Gauri eventually located Jupe and extended his hand for a fist bump before being shot to death by officials. However, Jupe is now profiting from his account of the Gauri's Home incident at Jupiter's Claim in an attempt to conceal his unsolved sadness. He finally makes an offer to acquire Haywood's ranch, which M strongly urges O.J. to accept. O.J. witnesses one of his horses, Ghost, escaping oddly due to an unseen presence late at night. After failing to locate it, he stops for a moment in an open field and notices a UFO shaped like a flying saucer in the sky, which he immediately informs M about. The siblings agree to capture evidence of the UFO's existence out of a desire for wealth and fame. They drive to Fry's Electronics, where they meet Angel Torres, a store employee, and hire him to install security cameras on top of their house and elsewhere around the property. They set up a dummy horse that M stole from Jupiter's Claim after installing the surveillance cameras. Soon after, Jupe arrives at their property and invites them to his new family live show the coming Friday. That night, O.J. investigates weird noises coming from the barn and comes with a short creature that resembles an alien. While he is photographing it, another monster startles him, so he knocks it down, and it turns out to be Jupe's children telling him not to mess with Jupiter's Claim. While O.J. is following a runaway horse, a UFO appears above their ranch and disables the ranch surveillance camera. At the same time, M sees a praying mantis landing on the surveillance camera above their house, blocking the view of the UFO. She then runs out of the house and sees the UFO near O.J., so she tells him to run. As he hides in the barn, O.J. discovers that the UFO has been devouring their horses, then spitting out inorganic matter, which caused their father's loss of life. The following day, Angel suddenly comes back to their ranch and reviews the last night's footage, revealing that a nearby cloud never moves. As a result, they deduce that it is a UFO's hiding place. Soon, Jupe introduces a live show in Jupiter's Claim and plans to use Lucky as bait to lure out the UFO, which he has been feeding the Haywoods' horses to for months, in front of a paying audience. Unfortunately, on that day, the UFO arrives earlier than they anticipated, and it immediately devours Jupe and the whole audience, leaving Jupiter's Claim abandoned. After a while, O.J. also comes there, only to find Lucky in the field. He attempts to recall his horse, but the UFO suddenly attacks them. Having succeeded in surviving the attack, O.J. quickly came back home to inform M of his discovery. Meanwhile, the UFO has arrived at the Haywoods' home, where it expels a rain of blood and regurgitates the victims' belongings on the Haywood home after digesting its victims. On the other hand, O.J. finds his car engine dead just as he is about to reach his house, so he can only wait for the UFO to leave. While waiting, he deduces that the UFO will not eat anything that does not look directly at it, and that it is not a ship at all, but a predatory territorial creature. He also believes that, like a horse, its behavior can be understood and influenced in order to capture footage of it without being killed. Over dinner, OJ, M, and Angel discuss how to capture the creature on camera because it always shuts down their technology, and they decide to hire Antlers for assistance. Antlers initially refuses to do so, but he reconsiders after hearing about the Jupiter's claim incident. Later, the Haywoods dub the creature as Jean Jacket, named after a horse their father could never fully tame. The next morning, the group devises a plan to bait out Jean Jacket, and they decide to create a field of scattered tube man props for electrical malfunctions to deduce its location in the sky. To circumvent Jean Jacket's effects on electronics, Antlers brings a hand-cranked IMAX film camera to capture footage. While they are waiting and watching the field, a TMZ reporter suddenly trespasses onto the field and is thrown from his electric motorcycle when it shuts down near Jean Jacket. He is then devoured by the creature while begging OJ to film the event. Afterwards, OJ lures Jean Jacket, while Angel helps Antlers to capture footage of it. Despite capturing the footage, Antlers' obsession with the impossible shot makes him run over to Jean Jacket. Because of this, he ends up being devoured by the creature along with his camera, forcing the remaining three to flee. Fortunately, Angel survives Jean Jacket's attack by covering himself in barbed wire and a tarp, causing the creature to unfold from its saucer shape into a jellyfish-like appearance. Following that, OJ distracts an angry Jean Jacket from M while she rides the motorcycle to Jupiter's claim. When she arrives, she unleashes the amusement park's giant helium balloon symbol, whose eyes are fixed on Jean Jacket. As a result, it tries to consume the balloon, while M photographs the beast with an analog camera from an attraction. As Jean Jacket reverts to its flying saucer form, the compression causes the balloon to explode, killing the creature. With the picture as evidence of the creature's existence and reporters arriving nearby, M sees an unharmed OJ and Lucky standing outside of Jupiter's claim. If you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and click on like to help the channel out. Thank you and take care.